the WCS. Over here in the upper left, give it up for SOS. All right, it looks like we have had a pause. We did see Jaedong type in PP, which is the cue for a pause inside the game. We don't know what the issue is, but whatever it is, it's clearly important. These are, okay, looks like, okay, he didn't have sound on. Let's try this one more time. Over here in the upper left, the Protoss hope, give it up for SOS. His opponent down here in the bottom right, the legend from Brood War, give it up for Jaedong.
It's a lot of support for Jaedong there, Tasteless.
Always a fan favorite. Really tries to interact with everyone. And oh, do we have a cannon rush starting this off?
Looks like it's going to be that. He's sending the probe out here now. Now, Jaedong's gone for early pull before, but it looks like in this case he's going to go for a quick hatch.
Uh-oh, this could really backfire, but he sees the probe coming, so at least he can watch for something like this. A second probe coming around.
Oh, is this going to work here? Well, Jaedong, look at it. He saw the probe. He's decided to switch up. He's gone for the pull.
Oh, well, that's actually really nice. The fact that he saw that probe, because the second probe coming out, this is going to make it really hard.
Wait a minute. He's still going to go for it? This is interesting.
I think this is something we saw from Liquid Hero within a couple of tournaments, actually. He's going to cannon rush from below that hatchery.
Well, you know, one thing about SOS is he has such brilliant builds. He's bringing this one here into the most important match of his entire career.
He certainly is doing that. And you know what? The one thing, maybe he can get a cancel here because of that low ground cannon protecting him. And if he can do that, he's also got cannons hitting the third base.
If this works, it's going to be huge, because this is Jaedong we're talking about. And I don't think Jaedong's going to scout for this. This is so abstract as a cannon rush. Oh my God, he spots it!
But I think it's too late. The cannon is going to finish on the low ground. He can't stop this cannon on the high ground here.
Yeah, he should be able to force a cancel here.
And if he forces a cancel, Zerg's going to be in such a deficit. SOS already has cannons at the front of his base.
Well, what does Jaedong do from here? Is he going to cancel Apollo?
I'm not too sure. I think he has to, actually. He's already got this other hatchery coming down on the left-hand side. This is going to be impossible to defend.
And, you know, think about this. With the cannon, the one on the low ground, he can't expand to that other base if this gets canceled. He'll be stuck on two bases, and he does force a cancel.
Does make that cannon finish at least. And, well, the gateway just starting now about a minute later than normal due to the cannon rush.
So how successful do you think this has been, Artosis? This is a dedicated attack from resources that could have been for a faster expansion. Was this worth it for SOS?
I think if you look at it in the broad spectrum of things, where it's some games he's going to pick up a free win here, it's worth it, but in this game in particular, wasn't good enough.
Really interesting play. And with the way that Jaedong probably was going into this game, his mindset, the tables have really been turned. Jaedong was somebody who was taking control of each game against his opponent, setting the rules. Now, it's completely different. Jaedong has to, on his feet, with the world watching, engineer a strategy that's going to come back and turn the situation around.
Well, I think that's really what Jaedong is best at. This guy's so reactive, he's so clever, he's played a lot longer than SOS, he's so experienced. I think he's going to be fine here.
Yeah, and Jaedong's decided to take double gases here, so what is this actually for? I mean, he's going to tech up quite fast. Is this just for Zergling speed? Does he try to do something else here? I'm not too sure.
It's pretty hard to say, actually. I'm trying to figure out with two gases this quickly, like, you could go for a fast layer. You know, what would you want to get with that, though?
It's funny because if he doesn't get a third base up here and Protoss is on two bases, I mean, this is StarCraft 101. You have to stay in the lead when it comes to expansions as Zerg. So maybe Jaedong's going to try to do something to end this very quickly.
Well, he is going up to a very fast layer. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to end up seeing here, Apollo. What do you think?
Well, the options from this point, well, as he starts to clear out these cannons, he could go for a Nidus Swim, but what exactly is he going to put in there? He doesn't have Zergling speed research. Does he want to throw down a Roach Warren soon? Mulus are out the question. Could it be, if he takes the gases on his other base, could it be a Hydra Nidus play or something? He's so limited on gas at this point.
Yeah, you know, he hasn't taken the gases at his new natural right here. So it can't be Mutas, as you said. It probably won't end up being any sort of infestation pit. I'm not sure.
I feel like it's going to be a Nidus Worm. I'm not sure if that's the best move, but then again, what is the best move in this very bizarre setup that SOS has started this game out on?
Well, we have to look. The SOS did do research +1 attack straight away. He's added on 3 extra gateways, so no matter what Jaedong does, SOS seems to have a plan here. He's chronobushing into that cybernetics core.
Okay, so SOS is going to have plenty of units. Probably isn't going to die. Ooh, a Hydralisk Den. So he's actually going fast Hydras. Maybe Jaedong thinks here that we were going to see a Stargate rather quickly after the cannon rush, which is pretty common.
That's very true. The Stargate is super common after a successful cannon rush because you can control the map very, very easily, especially with the Queens being slow off of creep. Instead, from what I'm gleaning here is that Jaedong is doing a kind of abstract way to just get back into a normal game. He's actually okay playing from a completely uncomfortable position as long as he can get back to that macro Zerg style that he's so good at.
As we see here, we have 4 probes that just got rallied to exactly the wrong place. That is actually a gigantic hiccup in SOS's economy.
Well, now the cannon's going to get picked off here, but we have a pylon aggressively. Remember, +1 attack has finished, and units are moving across the map. Are these Hydralisks and Zerglings that are going to be made? That's going to be enough. That's a lot of force fields.
I'm almost under the impression SOS expected Jaedong to do some kind of all-in after this and is now caught off guard. He is going to move down here into this attack. Let's see if Jaedong can hold this off.
Oh, he could force field this ramp and lock all the units out. They'll have to run around if he does do that. He sees the Hydras, though, and does back up for now.
And we have a pylon coming over here at the 3rd. SOS being very cautious. We've seen some players be a little bit too aggressive. He peeks in there and he says, can I 100% win this? No, I'm going to have to back up.
That was so interesting because I really thought, as you described, Autosis, he could have done so much there. Force fields on the ramp, he had the mothership core, he could easily recall if something went wrong there, and I think that may have been a missed opportunity for SOS.
I feel like minimum he was going to kill a lot of drones, but instead he has decided to run away. At least that does leave him with a lot of force fields for defense, and he did force a good amount of units out of a very low economy Jaedong.
Here we have that infestation pit coming down, and it looks like the drone going to the 4th base now is going to arrive, and Jaedong has transitioned into frankly a pretty healthy Zerg macro game right now.
He certainly has. He's got a pretty decent drone count. He's still teching up. That's a pretty quick infestation pit as well, and going on to a 4th base, you can't really ask for more after this weird and wonky start.
Yeah, I can't help but feel that with SOS's attack and investment into that gateways and the +1 attack, and without doing anything, it's almost equalized the game a little bit. I mean, Jaedong wasn't too far behind from the initial cannon rush, but from this point, the Hive is on its way. If he's able to combine Vipers with the Hydralisk that he has out or something along those lines, especially because we see Colossus on the way, this could be a dangerous attack.
You know, on this map especially, one thing that is pretty popular is going just for Swarm Host play and turtling up, which he could do. He does have, you know, an economic engine that's strong enough that he can set that up. We'll have to see.
You know, that is true, but this is also Jaedong. We have to remember that. There's always the possibility of Mutalisks. He could go for that. But with the Roaches and Hydras being made, I think it's going to be mainly Corruptors to help take out those Colossus.
Yeah, once those Colossus go down, this Protoss army that we see is just going to melt to the amount of Hydralisks and Roaches we're going to see.
All right, so we see a scouting hallucinated Phoenix coming in here. A Protoss is going to poke in and try to just wipe out the creep tumors, anything to get a little bit more map control. He sees the teching, and it looks like from here he's going to just go ahead and get a 2nd Stargate. Oh, excuse me, he cancels it as I say that.
Okay, I think he was thinking it might be Mutalisks here, so he was getting ready for it, and after scouting this many Hydras and Roaches, obviously it's not going to be.
That makes a lot of sense because we've seen so much Mutalisk play from Jaedong throughout the last 2 days. He probably was trying to get ahead and stop that before it started, but no need, canceled it. Nice play there.
Well, Jaedong is racing up in supply now, guys. He's already up to 170. He really is racing, and with 3 Vipers on the way, a couple of ducks to the Colossus that are out here, Jaedong's army is going to be so strong.
Right now, SOS cannot attack. In fact, right now, SOS has to sit back and defend. As soon as they're charged up, it's going to be a deadly attack, but the Templar Archives is on the way.
That Jaedong is maxed out, by the way, as you can see here in first person, just now hitting 200. So he can now just start pulling Larva, and it's going to be very difficult for SOS to deal with. SOS at almost half of what Jaedong has.
We even see an Ultraless Cavern coming down, a really great transition, especially if your opponent is staying on gateway units. So here we go. Jaedong is moving out.
This could be pretty crazy here, Tasteless, if these Ducks grab those Colossus.
All right, looks like he's going to be moving in now. Will he actually attack, or is he just testing the defenses around here? He could harpoon here with some of these Vipers.
Well, he does have 3 High Templars here, and it looks like, oh, he does pick off that Forge, and here comes the first yank. Oh, the Colossus lives, but a second yank. The Colossus goes down.
Beautiful, taking that Colossus out and then maneuvering around the map, but we do have a War Prism coming in over here. It could hit the third base, and it could hit it hard.
A beautiful counterattack coming in from SOS, though. All the army, every part of Jaedong's supply is on the other side of the map. That War Prism with the Zealots there could do so much damage to Jaedong's infrastructure.
It very well may. There's only a single Roach and a Queen here to help out. If you can warp in some more units, that's going to be great, but this attack is still going on at his front door.
Looks like he's going to move in again here. The Colossi backing up. Will they get
the
harpoon again?
Beautiful!
Well, he doesn't end up getting that Colossi. It does get microwaved very quickly by SOS. In the meantime, the Zealots still trying to do damage, but don't get much done.
Oh, great pick there by Jaedong. Grabs one of those Colossus. But most importantly, SOS is holding strong.
Now think about this. The Colossus increment out one by one from the robotics facility. If he keeps losing those, he's never going to be able to push out on the map. Meanwhile, Zealots now hitting the hatch. Transfusions coming down. Jaedong rapidly coming back to try to save this.
Oh, is he going to get it? Is he going to get the hatchery? Oh, transfuse!
Oh my God! I cannot believe my eyes, even using an abduct on a single red Zealot. Jaedong going to every measure to save this hatchery.
Unbelievable play there. Jaedong not missing a beat, still maxed out. His army pushing out towards the front of the Protoss' base. He's going to keep controlling this. It is looking to be probably a Jaedong win if SOS can't turn something else around here.
Hey, you know what? That is a possibility. He even has that Ultraless Cavern ready. He's taking that 5th base. This is looking rather good for Jaedong, but SOS is taking his 4th.
Is he going to get the hatchery?
Oh, no, not this time, Tasteless. The transfuses keep on, and the Warp Prism has to run away. But I think a really important part of this game right now is the Ultraless. The upgrades are starting to come in. He's making his Ultraless stronger. Jaedong currently doesn't care about Roach, Hydra, Viper as much anymore. But look at this. There's no Immortals. There's no Archons.
It's wild, man. Look at how much Jaedong is banked up, by the way. Almost 4K in minerals and over 1,000 in Vespi and gas. So he has a lot of options here. Let's say his army gets wiped out. He can come up with a completely different tech.
Two Colossus being picked off, and it looks like he may even get a cancel on this 4th base. Jaedong playing a flawless game.
This is some of the best Viper play I have ever seen.
Yeah, and I can't believe that Jaedong keeps pulling this off. He's moving around. His opponent can't even get over 150 supply.
Oh, man, look at this. The Zealots in the main base. At the same time, the Roach is hitting over here, but he doesn't even care about these Roaches. Psystorms comes down. Looks like he'll save the Nexus for now, but still more damage being done in Jaedong's main.
Yeah, the Nexus was bruised there, but just not enough. The Zealot harass has not been impactful here to get SOS a lead. SOS having a hard time even getting outside of his base. Well, we have another Zealot harass coming in here. He's going to go for the hatch. He's not going for the drones. This means he has to take a big step if he wants to get ahead.
Well, right now we have a big bang for Jaedong. The Spire's finishing. Is he going to do the Mutalisk switch?
The hatchery's getting lower, 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 and it does look like Jaedong once again manages to save this.
There's so much money being thrown into picking off hatcheries, the Warp Prism, the Zealots, and neither of them are successful. What is Jaedong waiting for now? It's going to be Ultraless first of all here.
All right. 5 Ultralists on the way. Also, a lot of Spine Crawlers being made. He realizes that this harassment is doing very well. Oh my gosh,
getting
the
low,
hatchery! Finally, SOS picks off a hatchery.
It's incredible. I mean, look at the APM here. That's actions per minute. It is so high right now. I believe that's SOS on the left there. It's incredible. These guys are playing so fast.
Right now, Jaedong pushing up again. He wants to get rid of the 4th base. Will he be able to do it? This is a little suicide force here. So even though it looks like he'll cancel that 4th, he should end up losing the army.
But Autosis, I really don't think Jaedong cares about his Roach Hydra anymore. But the big question I want to ask you and ask every other player out there, is SOS ready for Ultralisks?
He is absolutely not ready for Ultralisks. Stalkers, Sentries, and Colossus are all countered by them. And in fact, look at this. He's seen the double Spire, and he's going for Phoenixes. He's afraid of the Mutalisk switch.
And he's pooling the Phoenixes here, too. So the Zerg might not identify that in time. And that might be a big surprise here for Jaedong.
Yeah.
Well, Jaedong is still making Ultras, and that's just another unit. You know, Phoenixes are even worse against Ultras than Sentries are.
So right now, SOS is attempting to take a 4th base. He can't stay on 3 bases forever. And I think what we're going to see, Jaedong's going to go for one big final attack. As soon as SOS moves down to take his 4th, his army will be the open. And that's when Jaedong's going to come for map number 1.
And it looks like that 4th is all just about to be completed here. He might wait for that to finish so even more damage is done. But you're absolutely right. He's going to gear up for one big killing blow.
Well, he's ready. He's just waiting, kind of in a concave here. It's hard to break through a wall with Ultras. And in fact, now he's showing them off. SOS has to be feeling pretty sad that he's bought so many Phoenixes right now.
Jaedong's on 5 bases. You can't stay on 3. He has to come out, but it gets cancelled. How the hell is SOS going to be able to afford anything if this game continues on?
This game is going to start snowballing here. In fact, it already has, really. Jaedong is getting bigger and bigger and scarier. He has so much banked up right now. And now going for the Nexus here. Will this snipe work off? He'll take out the Nexus and even free up supply to tech to something else.
Well, it looks like he does want to switch tech now by throwing away those Ultras. He could go into Mutas, but let's not forget, SOS is ready for that. There's a lot of mind games going on right now.
But how much money does he really have? Because yes, he'll have a little of everything, but not a lot of it. And that's the big problem, because look at how much money Jaedong has saved up. At any point in this game, Jaedong could win with his trademark move.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of Immortals on the way. We're actually starting to get to a composition that SOS may be able to win battles with. And if he's very quick with that, Jaedong's going to have a hard time. But again, as Tasteless, you were saying, the 5 bases of Jaedong allow him to do whatever he wants.
Oh, look at this brave soldier, Tasteless.
Just moving out right here.
He's going to grab that watchtower.
Now, note that most other players would, well, hold on, we're in first person now. So it looks like he's going to go ahead and try to do some harass over here. Anything he can do to try to get a small lead, taking out these drones, maybe even getting this Hive. If you get that, that would be huge.
Well, the Hive, it may in fact end up going down, but, you know, is that enough at this point?
Now, it's important to note that most Zerg players would have a wall of spine crawlers and be turtled up, but that's not how Jaedong plays. Jaedong is all about aggression and control, not about passive play.
That is correct. And in fact, he sat back there for a moment, the Immortal making its way all the way over into his natural.
So do you think Jaedong may be sitting back too much here, Autosis? SOS's supply is starting to rise now.
Well, you know what? Immortal, Void Ray, Archon, Colossus is a pretty good unit composition against Ultralisk. So, yeah, he may have waited a bit too long.
You got to wonder if this might be somewhat of a mistake. This is a map where the 4th base is much easier to secure than any other map, and maybe Jaedong banking on wiping out that 4th and drying up the Protoss, maybe that's a mistake.
Well, you know what? I think Jaedong can make a few mistakes here and still be okay. He's just got so many bases. He's taking another. His creep spread looks good, and that's still a good unit composition.
Well, we could see the fight happen here. Jaedong is posturing outside there, but SOS is tucked in a very nice location. If Jaedong was to fight there, he'd probably lose a lot without really trading off too well.
Well, we see a passive Jaedong right now. He's just waiting. You know, he's saying, "Okay, you're gonna come out. You're gonna try to fight me." SOS completely turtled up right now, and I'm really starting to wonder here. Unless Jaedong starts to make a bunch of spine crawlers, perhaps, or something. We'll see. Actually, he's attacking it now.
All right, a little bit of an attack so far. Those Phoenixes starting to get picked off a little bit, and I think that's part of what Jaedong wants.
You know, these Ultralists are not quick. I mean, the Stalkers can continue to chase them there with Blink. This one Void Ray nicely takes out that hatchery, catching the tail end of that there.
All right, I think it's time for Jaedong to really start doing something. He's got the Nidus network, which is going to come. He's got an Overseer on high speed towards the main base.
Now, he might not see this Nidus network come in here, where he's actually moving out with his army in the middle here. This could be a big surprise, but SOS has decided now is the time to attack. Almost 30 minutes into this game, he's finally trying to make a killing move.
Well, it looks like we're starting to have a base race. The Ultralisk Roach going towards that 4th base. Mutalisk starting to be made, and that's going to be his big switch as he loses his supply.
Yeah, that's going to be it. But does he lose these 8 Mutalisks that come out? Does he lose the hatcheries? Does he lose the lava? Extra spires are being made. This is getting crazy.
Once again, Jaedong is going for a base trade scenario, but will it work? As sOs tears through Jaedong's base, he eliminates critical tech structures.
Uh-oh, some DTs in there, no real detection. He's going to have to end up using a fungal most likely. This is getting really painful for Jaedong. He has to go home and lose this supply so he can make Mutalisks.
All right, well, imagine if you lost Overlords or something along those lines. This is becoming very, very close in a game that almost shouldn't have been.
It's absolutely insane. The bottom right base is being taken out. Phoenix is being produced. There are 3 spires being made right now.
Did he lose his main spires? Is that why we're not seeing it?
He lost both spires back there at the second.
Oh, this is really stressful right now, I imagine, for Jaedong. With all the Phoenixes being made, they've already been upgraded for so long. They're going to be so good against Mutalisks that pop.
That is very true, but these Mutas do have +3 attack. There may be a few Infestors left on the map that could swing that battle in his favor. But this is starting to look really rough for Jaedong.
You know, if he gets enough Phoenixes out, the Overlords are not really well protected. I mean, he could actually wipe out all of the ability for the Zerg to make units here.
Oh, and he's actually adding on 4 high tempo, and I really think that's the deal with what he's expecting, I'd imagine, to be Mutalisks. He's probably like, Jaedong, come on, man, you've been on 5 bases for 20 minutes. Where's the money?
Well, it's a very good question. I think he's really smart to be making these Phoenixes. Jaedong just losing the Spires, doing the base trade with Ultras, it's not working out for him.
He doesn't have enough lava.
No, he does not.
He's lost so much.
It's so sad. He has all this capital, and he can't spend it.
Well, here goes the army, and this is going up towards at least where 1 or 2 of his extra spires are at, and there are 2 of them. So those are going to be taken out rather quickly as well. Good thing, though, he made 3.
Does Jaedong fight up there to defend that location, or does he forget about it and try to keep the Mutalisk count rising?
I think he has to forget about it. There's no way to save it. No matter what, those Immortals are going to win whatever battle comes to them right now. He actually just has to have mass Mutas, but there's so many Phoenixes out, I don't know that it matters.
And the Spires are going to be stamped out again here. Jaedong running out of places to hide as this death ball of sOs moves from location to location, slowly wiping out anything Jaedong related.
Oh god, these Phoenixes doing such a great job against the Mutas, and in fact coming to join up this army with all those Archons. You are never going to be able to engage this.
Yeah, after watching this game, I can't help but feel how good and how well sOs has played. Just imagine, a few moments ago he's on 3 bases, he couldn't take a 5, he looked so far behind, but everything's gone his way.
It certainly has, and this is the final battle.
GG!